Star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Sergeant Husband. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Barker will now give the invocation.
I invite you to join me in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for being with us now in this very moment. Today we seek to honor the hard work and dedication of the amazing airmen who serve in the 493rd Fighter Squadron. On this special occasion, we acknowledge the faithful leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Tony May, and we ask that you would watch over him and his family. Lord, impart your grace, peace, strength, and joy as they conclude a job well done and head on to the next adventure. Additionally, we pray for Lieutenant Colonel Mark Perry and his family. We ask that you would watch over them with a benevolent eye and guide their hands and minds for the important task before them. Lord, impart to each of us ears to hear you and eyes to see what you are doing, so that we might be more active participants in pathways marked by steps of truth and grace. We notice the strength of your hand in the lives of these leaders and the love of your heart in their care for airmen. Inspire us to shake off weariness, to stay true to the commitment to the mission before us. This is serious business, but I pray for joy as a strength and goodness as a guiding light as we place our trust in you. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Barker. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Commander of 48th Operations Group, Colonel Lowe.
Hey folks, happy Friday. Thanks for being here. Boss, Jamie, thanks for coming. Group Commander, specifically Jens, thanks for letting us borrow the hangar. Flag show looks great. Tom, thanks for coming. Landon, not sure how you made it through security, my friend. Also good to see you. All other OG family members and friends, excited you could join us today. You know, it's a good day to be a Reaper. It's a special day for the Liberty Wing. We're going to watch the 493rd guidon being passed from Lieutenant Colonel May to Lieutenant Colonel Perry. It's not lost on me that today doesn't happen just by itself. You know, special thanks to our setup team that made this happen. Special thanks to Sergeant Husband, who crushed the national anthem again. Awesome. And thanks to Padre Barker for his words. If you bear with me, I want to spend a couple minutes bragging about the Reapers. I'm going to brag about blood a little bit. Let me first start off with a quick story. So a couple months ago, Blood and I are at a joint roll call. Outside the Reaper front yard, we're watching this piano burn. Lieutenants doing stupid lieutenant tricks. I turned to one of Blood's do-it lieutenants and I asked him a pretty straightforward question. I'm like, hey man, what do you think of the squadron? And without missing a beat, this young wingman lieutenant says, and I'll paraphrase, he says, the Reapers are the best damn fighter squadron in the business. I was taken aback a little bit. It's a bold statement. Certainly a bold statement to be making in front of in the presence of the Strike Eagle tribe, many of which those may be wincing in their seats. But I didn't take it necessarily as boasting, man. I took it as a reflection upon the Reaper culture, and that's their culture of winning. So the best in the business. You know, this year's Raytheon Trophy says as much. It literally, the giant plaque says, the 493rd Fighter Squadron is the best fighter squadron in the United States Air Force. You can also see this culture in the well-earned swagger of the men and women who wear that Reaper patch. You can see it in Jens's gold maintenance team. And more importantly, you can see that winning culture when the Reapers deploy. There's an old cliche I think most are familiar with, that when the United States faces a crisis, the president asks, where's the nearest carrier? You know, I don't know if that's true or not, but what I do know is fact is when our bosses, our 4-star bosses in Central Command and European Command have a Russia problem, they call for the Reapers. And there's a simple truth here, in my opinion. It's that air dominance, the ability to own the skies at a time and place of our choosing, has underpinned the security of this nation, underpinned the combat effectiveness of this service for 100 years. And no one does it better than the Reapers. The Reapers provide that very blanket of security to this island, to our allies, and to our families here. And they do it by making it very, very clear to our enemies that if they take off, if they dare meet us, they're not coming home. Man, if you've been in this business long enough, you know that the secret, the key to good, effective squadrons, great squadrons, the key to that is great commanders. It's all but certain, man. You know, certain like death and taxes. And Blood's no exception. Under his leadership has underpinned all Reaper successes. Blood started his command by taking the 493rd out the door in a no-notice CENTCOM deployment. Talking days and weeks, pack your bags, go to war. He rapidly deployed that squadron to achieve air dominance over our adversaries. After several months, he got a new task, to reposture the Reapers to meet our Iranian threat, which he did. As that AOR and that squadron was faced with the precipice of major combat operations facing the Iranians, the Reapers were ready. And he did this as a major. Just take a second, think about that. Deploy a fighter squadron as a major. Hey man, I don't know about you, but when I was a major, I was in charge of Tuesdays. And this was just the beginning. Over the next 2 years, 8 high visibility safety exercises, 2 Icelandic NATO deployments, multiple high-end European training events with our European partners, getting the F-35 for the partner nations online, a huge lift, making this fighter wing ready for war. Blood's success leading the team has been exceptional. Blood's leadership in the face of tragedy has been the very glue that has held this team together. The loss of Chosen 4 is a tough day. Tough day for the Allen family, tough day for the Reapers. Blood led his squadron through those dark days that followed with the very help of those in this hangar. Led him back, surrounded by a highly effective team, proud of its mission and proud of their accomplishments. You know, leading a fighter squadron is a family business, and it has been for Team A. Steph, your love and support that you've shown Blood and the Reaper family has made all the difference. Thank you. For Carolyn and Henry, and your dad's a superhero. We couldn't be more proud of him. Thank you for letting us borrow him for a bit. We'll give him back to you. You know, as we watched in a couple seconds the guidon being passed from Blood to Leaker, the Reapers are in good shape. Leaker comes to us, a weapons school graduate, SAS alumni. He's a survivor of the Pentagon 2-year assignment, which is no small feat. Hey, but more important than this, he's a proven leader, a combat veteran. The guy knows the business, trusted. He's ready to be Reaper 1. Brother, you have our full faith and confidence. Leaker's joined by his lovely wife, Emma, 2 future fighter pilots, Eva and Arthur, who are sitting stoically in their seats like military drill sergeants. Super impressive. We're happy that you're joining the Reaper team. Couldn't be more happy to see you today. Hey, so let me end where I started. Thanks for coming. Super proud to be standing on the stage with these 2 men. Couldn't ask for a better team. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Lowe. Please stand for the medal presentation. Attention orders. This is certified the Air Force Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster, has been awarded to Lieutenant Colonel Anthony May for meritorious service 15 June 2018 to 18 December 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Anthony E. May distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 493rd Fighter Squadron, 48th Operations Group, 48th Fighter Wing, Royal Air Force Lakenheath, England. During this period, Colonel May managed 3 annual flying hour programs totaling $557 million, encompassing 16,800 F-15C flight hours, providing air superiority across 2 geographic combatant commands. He led his squadron through 8 major command or higher level exercises, executing $1.3 billion of high-end near-peer threat training, while also building partner capacity with 9 allied nations and helping the Italian Air Force reach initial operational capability with their F-35s, a first in the European theater. Additionally, Colonel May led the 493rd Expeditionary Fighter Squadron during 2 Icelandic air policing deployments, providing 28 aircraft and 570 airmen, delivering 1,972 hours of quick reaction alert and securing Arctic sovereignty for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Furthermore, he led investigations and presided over a flying evaluation board advising United States Air Force and Europe leadership on 8 months of legal proceedings concerning deficient aircrew qualifications. Finally, Colonel May commanded the first F-15C sustained combat operations in 16 years, earning the 2019 Raytheon Trophy as the Headquarters Air Force Air Superiority Fighter Squadron of the Year. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel May reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel May will now address his command for the last time.
Colonel Camilletti, Meredith, virtually. Colonel Stratton, Tara, virtually. Colonel Lowe, Miss Lisa. Group commanders, fellow squadron commanders, Magnum, honorary commanders, Chiefs shirts, and those joining us virtually today. And most importantly, the men, women, and spouses of the 493rd Fighter Squadron. It's been an intense and extremely quick 2 years. We fought a 2-front war with no notice and no return date, accomplishing things in the F-15C that has never been done before and no one thought was possible. We lost a comrade. We came together as a family and mourned, supported each other, persevered, and got right back in the saddle because our nation asked us to. We maintained European air superiority during a global pandemic. We teamed, quarantined, locked down, and surged, all the while continuing to develop the next generation of air superiority warriors. And we kicked some major ass, easily bringing home the Raytheon Trophy as the best air-to-air fighter squadron in the Air Force, with the Reapers setting a new record as 6-time winners. Today is about closing that chapter in Reaper history. And there's a few people along the way I need to thank to make it happen. Colonel Camilletti, sir, Toto said it, but you let a major lead a fighter squadron to war. At the time, I didn't think anything of it, and now looking back, I'm extremely humbled by your trust. That was a big decision. I appreciate the opportunities you've given me along the way and your mentorship and leadership for the last 3 years. Colonel Lowe, sir, appreciate you letting me do it my way and how you have that knack of taking a conversation up a level, opening up the aperture, and having some education along the way. I've learned a ton from you in our short time together. Dan Connors, Cassie Herman, Katie Britt, Jim Oltman, and the entire Reaper AMU. In the last 2 years, the Reapers have never failed. And it's been on the backs of the maintenance heroes that keep the world's greatest air superiority fighter jet in the air. Our ops maintenance team is something special, something we're never gonna find anywhere else in the Air Force. And like you guys always say, it's good to be gold. My DOs, Acid, Switch, and Dagger. Most of the last 2 years were off script. No notice twice in CENTCOM, air to ground, ops recce in the C model, and a global pandemic that has yet to impact our readiness. You three kept the air superiority machine running, and you made it look easy. Trailer Leroy Jekyll. We've had a hell of a run. From the early days of the DO Dream Team to now a 4-ship of almost graduating squadron commanders. There isn't anything that the 4 of us couldn't conquer. It was quite the team, and I was proud to serve alongside the 3 of you. Appreciate your advice and always having my back. Carrie and Elaine,
Not many know what you guys do for the squadron, especially behind the scenes, behind closed doors, but your day-to-day dedication keeps this squadron running. Your patience in dealing with the 35 of us is humbling, and your advice was always spot on. Tech Sergeant King and Mac, two tech sergeants that stepped up big time and easily conquered the senior enlisted and squadron superintendent role. Thanks for your candor and your leadership. I learned a ton from both of you. You were the backbone of the Reaper family. Can't wait to see where you guys go as senior NCOs. Reaperettes, a fighter pilot's spouse is a thankless job. Few Americans will understand the sacrifices that you make for your husband, your family, and this nation. You are the heart of the Reaper family, the best spouse group I've seen in my career. You've made this assignment the best one yet. Squirms and H-Man, being your dad is the best job ever. I appreciate your sacrifice and patience for me and your mom for the last couple years. The long trips, the late nights, the time away, the weekends at the squadron. I'm looking forward to having more time together as we move into our next Air Force adventure. Steph, you've made sacrifices for me in the Air Force since 2002. I'm continually amazed by your ability to say yes, let's get after it, and how you always make time to take care for other people, even when there seems to be no time to be had. These last 2 years have been really tough, as I watch you devote every free second you have into making the Reapers a better family. You're my best friend, advisor, confidant, sounding board, and one amazing mother. I couldn't have done this without you. Finally, to the 32 Eagle drivers at Lincoln Heath Air Patch and the airmen that support them. You are the sole reason the skies of Europe are free. Your work ethic, attitude, skill, and most importantly, the sacrifices you make are the bedrock of NATO deterrence. It's been an honor flying and fighting with all of you. The future of air superiority is in good hands. Leaker and Emma, the Reapers are ready. You never know when the call is going to come. You're the team to lead them through the next chapter, and we're excited to see what the history books say about you two. Good luck and enjoy every minute.
On behalf of the airmen and families of the 493rd, we'd like to present a bouquet of flowers to thank Stephanie, Carolyn, and Henry for their years of dedication and support. This time, the men and women of the 493rd Fighter Squadron will now honor Lieutenant Colonel May with a final salute as their squadron commander. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now observe the symbolic portion of the ceremony, the change of command. Please stand. Attention orders. Special order number GO2103. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51604 and Air Force Instruction 38101, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Perry is appointed Commander, 493rd Fighter Squadron, effective 18 December 2020. Signed, Colonel Sean Lowe, Commander, 48th Operations Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you for the first time the commander of 493rd Fighter Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Perry.
Good afternoon. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that young Lieutenant Dewitt Perry would be standing here today as Reaper 1. Thank you to Colonel Camilletti and Colonel Lowe for the incredible opportunity to lead the men and women of the 493rd Grim Reapers. In my opinion, there is no higher calling than to lead, and I appreciate the trust and confidence you've placed in me. I pledge to you that the Grim Reapers will continue to uphold the gold standard as USAFE and EUCOM's premier air superiority fighter squadron. To the RAF Lakenheath base and community leaders, partners, and supporters, it's good to be back to where my career began. Lakenheath is a very special place for my family. Emma and I met here 10 years ago, and Emma, without your love and support over the last decade, I wouldn't be standing here today. I can't begin to express my appreciation for everything you've done for our family. Suffice to say that I would not be the person I am today or be blessed with the family that I have were it not for RAF Lakenheath and the 493rd Fighter Squadron. The warmth and generosity of those who live in and around the base is legendary, and I, as well as the rest of the men and women of the 493rd, appreciate you more than you'll ever know. To all other distinguished guests, friends, both military and civilian, both those present and those that are tuning in to watch the replay of today's ceremony, thank you. Thank you to Captain Bynum for putting on today's ceremony, and to all those who came together from PA, Protocol, Tech Sergeant Husband, and Chaplain Barker. I'd especially like to thank the members of the 748th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron and the 493rd Aircraft Maintenance Unit. We couldn't do what we do without your tireless efforts to provide safe and lethal Eagles to us on a daily basis. Thank you. I'd also like to give out a shout out to my dedicated and assistant dedicated crew chiefs, Wynn, Preston, and Chuck. Great job, guys, on 159 and 4019, and I'll see you on the flagship. I'm extremely fortunate to be following in the footsteps of a great leader, mentor, and Eagle driver in Blood May. I've benefited tremendously from your experience, starting with your instruction at the weapons school when I was your student, and now the mentorship and guidance that you've given me leading up to today. Your leadership has been critical to shaping the 493rd, and the accolades spoken of by Colonel Lowe in your decoration speak for themselves. Well done, my friend. I pledge to you that the 493rd is in good hands. Emma and I wish you and Stephanie and your family the best in your future, and cannot thank you enough for everything you've done for us and for the Reapers in your time as Reaper 1. To the Reapers, the security challenges facing our nation are complex and unremitting, and addressing them requires our complete focus. Everything from high-end strategic deterrence to confronting the diverse demands at the tactical edge, facing an evolving adversary requires our ability to respond quickly, dynamically, and forcefully when called upon. In order to ensure we continue to be ready, we will work with other squadrons, base leaders, host nation, and allied mission partners to bring the Grim Reaper's formidable capabilities to bear if called upon to do so. We will look to craft new approaches to the difficult problems of deterrence and security through concepts such as ACE, as we execute the National Defense Strategy of the United States. And I pledge to you that as we do so, we will provide unwavering support to the Grim Reaper warriors and their families who often bear the heaviest burden of service and sacrifice. The Grim Reapers are second to none. We share a common desire to serve our nation and a dedication to the importance of air superiority to the joint force. I know that your dedication and focus will be instrumental in fulfilling our commitment and upholding the Eagle standard. I promise to stand by you and work each and every day to serve you and earn the trust bestowed upon me as Reaper 1. Emma and I are delighted to rejoin the Gold family, and we look forward to all we will accomplish together. It is an honor and a privilege to serve with you. Again, Colonel Camilletti and Colonel Lowe, thank you for this opportunity. I won't let you down.
This time, the men and women would like to present a bouquet of flowers to Emma, Evangeline, and Arthur, and welcome them into the squadron. This time, the men and women of 493rd will now honor Lieutenant Colonel Perry with his first salute as their commander. Each aircraft in the 48th Fighter Wing bears the name of the assigned aircrew on the fuselage. The squadron commander's flagship, F-15C, tail number 84027, has just rejoined the fleet from depot and undergoing maintenance. Aircraft tail number 86159 will stand in for the purpose of today's ceremony. Dedicated Crew Chief Staff Sergeant Brian Wynn has already affixed Lieutenant Colonel Perry's name to the flagship, 159. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Due to COVID requirements, we ask that you do not sing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for your attendance.